The Cold War is very well known for seeing many different intelligence organizations that did some insane things. Most notable are the CIA and the KGB. However, there is another intelligence group that did a lot of the KGB's dirty work and things that the KGB did not want to be associated with. That organization was the Czechoslovak State Security, or StB. The StB was Czechoslovakia's intelligence organization and secret police during the Cold War. It was established on June 30th, 1945 and was under the control of the Czechoslovak Communist Party. The party used the StB as an instrument of their rise to power as a means of repression. The organization spied on and intimidated political opponents of the party, forged false criminal evidence against them, and facilitated the Communist Party's rise to power in the 1948 coup. Soviet advisors arrived in 1949 and the StB began to undergo a fundamental ideological change as the older generation of experienced and educated secret police began to be replaced or purged. The replacements were a younger generation of secret policemen who were mostly from working class backgrounds and were intense in their ideological rhetoric on class struggle and political loyalty. Under the advice of the Soviet advisors, the younger generation adopted a Stalinist ideology in their purges. The state security had thousands of employees, but tens of thousands more collaborators and informants who actively sent information on their fellow Czechoslovak citizens and people affiliated with these citizens to the StB. The 1950s were arguably the darkest period in Czechoslovakia's history, as state surveillance such as phone tapping, permanent monitoring of apartments, intercepting private mail, house searches, and the arrests and indictments of innocent people for subversion of the Republic were very common practices. One of the StB's primary aims throughout the Cold War was the subversion and suppression of democracy and human rights within Czechoslovakia. You know, average secret police type stuff. The organization obtained forced confessions through torture, psychoactive drugs, kidnapping, and blackmail, and did so all on behalf of the KGB and Czechoslovak Communist Party. One operation that was conducted by the StB was Operation Border Stone, which is also known as Operation Common, from 1948 potentially until 1958 with the goal of capturing citizens who were trying to leave for the West. The implementation of the program involved the StB setting up fake border checkpoints where refugees would go through and be met by StB officers who were disguised as American counterintelligence agents. It was here where the refugees would tell the disguised officers everything about family members, friends, and groups who also wanted to leave Czechoslovakia. Afterwards, the refugees and those listed by the refugees in the fake debriefs would be arrested and imprisoned for lengthy terms, with some being executed. The personal property of those arrested would be confiscated and sold by the StB for personal gain. The StB expanded and operated globally, specializing in signals intelligence. The organization was handed out assignments by the KGB, who considered the StB to be their junior partner in the Cold War. Operations including attempting assassinations in Western Europe while posing as a neo-Nazi group, escalating tensions in Cyprus between Greek and Turkish ethnic groups, global arms deals especially to groups in the Middle East, influencing and altering media outlets, and of course, kidnapping political personnel. The StB was tasked with supporting and training the Red Brigades, which was an Italian Marxist terrorist group. The Red Brigades were the primary far-left actor in the years of lead in Italy, which was a period of political violence in Italy that involved murder and kidnapping. The StB cooperated with the PLO to conduct training and logistical support for the Red Brigades in North Africa and Syria. There are more operations like this, but I feel like you get the picture. Another notable operation that the StB conducted, which I found interesting, was where the organization spied on Donald Trump from the mid-late 1970s through the fall of the Czechoslovak SSR. Trump first got on the StB's radar when he married his first wife from Czechoslovakia, and the StB learned that Trump was a big businessman. The StB felt that he was politically influential since he had been donating to Jimmy Carter's presidential campaign. However, the spying ramped up on Trump in the 1980s when Trump started to make some of his political viewpoints known to the public as he became a business celebrity. In 1988, Trump considered running for the presidency, but decided against it and asked to be George H.W. Bush's vice president, which was rejected. Anyway, the StB in 1988 heavily spied on Trump during this time, and they had a larger profile on him than the KGB. And the StB also felt that if he became president, then they would have a massive asset compared to the other Warsaw Pact states and the KGB. The collection operation ended in 1989 with the fall of the Czechoslovak SSR. After the fall of the Czechoslovak SSR, the StB was dissolved and former members were blacklisted from getting any government jobs. However, many StB files were destroyed by agents in 1989, and informants have been discovered to have been working in the Czech Republic's government since the early 2000s. Did you know about the Czechoslovak StB and their operations before this video? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you for watching.